Hey guys, what's going on? It's MajiinBae. Welcome back to the channel. We got some new cards coming out. Looks like some Bard support. I have not seen them yet, so I figured we'd give it a watch together. See how cool they are. This is the one I did see, obviously, the Chime. A boon. It looks like the opposite of a trap. Grant a random ally in hand +1/+1. And as I understand it, it gets planted onto things like cards in deck and whatnot. I'm sure we'll get a little bit more information as soon as we get the first card, though. Alright, here we go. Bird. It's like Bard, but a scarecrow. Alright, the Bell Ringer. 1 mana, 2/1. When I'm summoned, plant a Chime on the top card of your deck. Okay, so it's a 2/1 that grants your next... grants a random ally in hand +1/+1 on the following turn. Seems like fine. It's better than Omen Hawk. But it's not as good as, like, the best one-drops in the game. It's, like, okay. Bandle City didn't really have a very good one-drop, though. They had, like, Yordle Squire, the one that makes the sword or the shield, the spear or the shield, the +1/+0 or the +0/+1, which is pretty good in, like, the Fizz decks, but, I don't know, not really that good outside of it. This card seems okay. I don't know how much Chime support there's going to be, so, like, if something wants to hit a bunch of Chimes and it has like Chimes matter, then it starts to get like a lot more interesting. But just as a card, like standalone, it's not fantastic. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's just not like right. All right. Esmith's Breath of the World. 2 mana Targon elusive 0/2. Pretty like the stat line's obviously not great 0/2, but 2 mana 0/2 elusive is hard to deal with. When I'm summoned, plant a Chime on the top card of your deck. Okay, so it's an 0/2 that on the next turn is going to pump something in your hand +1/+1, and then attack, support, grant my supported ally +1/+1. Grant is pretty important, but again, not great. Just not that good. If you're going into like a heavy support archetype, maybe, but like I doubt it, right? You'd have to be in like Lulu. Now, this card is pretty good with Lulu. Excuse the yawn. I forget to breathe when I monologue. The card is pretty good with Lulu because you can get like a 5/5 elusive that plants a Chime and everything. But I don't know. It's just fine. It's a grant, and that's super good. It makes me think a little bit of like Mentor of the Stones, which is a pretty strong card. That card grants +2/+2, though. This card comes out a turn earlier. It's a bit of a wash. It's I don't know. It's not great. It's not great. It's not horrible. It's just not like constructed all-star Esmus. You know what I mean? Unless there's some synergy that we're not seeing yet, which is totally possible. Mystic Vortex. I like the name. 2 mana Targon Landmark. When I'm summoned or when I count down, plant 3 Chimes on random cards in your deck. Count down to draw 1. Huh. Huh. Okay, so when it says when I count down, I believe that means when the countdown is finished, not each time it counts down. Because if it's each time it counts down, you get a total of 9 Chimes. If it's only when it finishes, then it's a total of 6 Chimes. 9 Chimes, and we're kind of talking. 6 Chimes, little less good. That's like slightly above the rate of you finding like a time bomb, right? From Zillion. I don't know. This one could possibly be good. Again, we have to see like the Chime payoffs. That's basically what we're waiting on here. Because you don't know, like, right now I have to assess Chimes based on just how good is the Chime. Not like, okay, but if I'm hitting Chimes, then I'm progressing Bard level up, and Bard level up's insane, or something like that, right? Like, we don't know anything like that yet. So right now it's just like, well, how good is the +1/+1? And it's not that good. This card, I think, has potential to be very strong, though. Countdown 2, replace yourself, is good. Planting 6 or 9, not sure still. Chimes could be very, very, very strong, depending, again, on the Chime payoff card. I'm going to keep my eye on this one. Landmarks, historically, been pretty strong. Proximity Puff Cap. Okay. 2 mana, Bandle City slow. Deal 1 to a unit. If one of your traps or boons activated this round, deal 3 to it instead. Ooh. Huh, that's cool. That's really cool. I don't know how good it is. It's probably just worse than like the PNZ one that deals 3 if you've like added 2 cards to your hand this turn. It's probably just worse than that, but this is in Bandle City, which is like obviously a region that's not going to have quite as good removals PNZ, damage base wise. So this could easily be like a very strong card. It's cool for the Teemo archetype to like get this one, but I don't know. It's you know what I mean? I think it's pretty I think it's pretty meh. It's just kind of whatever. Is that the last one? It is cool. All right, that's the last one. I'm going to go back to talking about Chimes. What I like is that we like took the trap archetype and kind of flipped it on its head. Traps are a fan favorite. They're really fun. They make for exciting, like, you know, exciting turns where you have to like sweat. You're like, oh my god, am I gonna hit them? Am I gonna hit enough traps? Like, if I hit 3 traps here, I die. And I think that's like kind of fun. It can be annoying to get high rolled sometimes, but it can also be like from the other side of the table, like incredibly fun. It's super exciting when you're like, okay, we need them to hit 3 in a row, and I only have 20 chimes in their deck or 20 traps in their deck. And chimes, while not as like feast or famine, I think as like puff caps are, it'll be like, ooh, you know, like a piece of candy every time you hit a chime, and that'll be pretty cool. I'm really interested to see what Bard's gonna look like, which we should be getting tomorrow if they follow the same pattern that they've always followed with like support cards and then the hero champion, whatever we call them. So yeah, Bard is an interesting one because I think he's like one that could go any direction really. There's so much with Bard that you could choose to focus on. Looks like they're focusing on the chimes, which I agree with. I think that's a good idea. But like, how do you even go about it, right? Like, what do the chimes do? They should probably have to deal with his level up. Like, he levels up when you hit 3 chimes or something. But like, then what does Bard do, right? Like, what does the card Bard do? So it's gonna be really interesting. As far as like, now that I've seen the rest of the cards, this card, fine, probably the best of the bunch. This card, not great. Could be good in a support archetype like a Runeterra or something. Bard may have support keyword. That'd be a big. Mystic Vortex, I think, has like possibly the highest ceiling so far out of the cards. And then Proximity Puff Cap is just cool. It's just a fun card. Yeah, that's it for these. I think that's it for all the day's spoilers. And we'll check in tomorrow to see how good Bard is. So thank you guys so much for coming. I'll see you next time.